Number 1, create a lost and found dream box. So this is mine. This is my lost and found dream box. So if you're like me and you have tons of ideas, tons of things that you want to do, you're not going to get any of them done unless you focus on them one at a time. And I needed a crutch so that I didn't have to truly let them go completely. It was just a little too painful. So I took things that I wanted in here, and I just put them all in just sort of sloppy little cards and stuff. This says, make an awesome sci-fi movie with a killer soundtrack. That was in here. It's still in here. I don't think it's still in the back of my mind, but it's in the box. So the point of the box is that you take everything that you want to do. You put it in the box, and then you pick one, and you work on one. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Hopefully you find it entertaining. Back in 2005, I had one of my box items, and it was surfed for a month in an inexpensive country somewhere. So I chose Peru, and I surfed for a month in Peru. I spent like 3 weeks surfing the coast of Peru, and then I spent another week in the jungle because I really wanted to see the Amazon. And I was in the Amazon, and I was thinking about my lost and found dream box, and I was thinking, well, I've got I got to pick my next one. What am I going to do next? I did this surfing for a month in another country, and so I had 3 choices. I picked out 3, so that's the next point. The point is that once you put all these in, then pick out like your top 3. So for me, the top 3 were surf the world, spend 6 months with the wildest tribe that I can possibly find, or own outright my own self-sufficient homestead, meaning no mortgage, energy provided for by solar, microhydro, whatever, food production on site, animals, plants, trees, and then heat, so that we're comfortable during the season. So I could completely unplug from the world if I wanted to. So I was thinking about that, and I actually started to meet the chief of a tribe that lived nearby. That they were a wild tribe that lived in the mountains near Peru, near this little town of Oxapampa where I was visiting. And I decided not to do that. That's another story, which is an interesting lesson on its own. And I decided not to surf the world because this was, so it's 2024, this was 20 years ago, just about 20 years ago. And I'm 55, so I was 35 at the time. And I needed to settle down. I didn't want to bounce from place to place and do camper van life, which I had been doing. So I chose the last one, and here it is. Here's the card. The card is, let's see if I can get it. I got to reverse the angle. I don't know if that's going to, it's kind of focusing there. Own outright my own self-sufficient homestead, food, energy, water, heat. And then on the bottom it says, I don't know what it says. Oh, no non-income generating debt. So when I took that out of the lost and found dream box, I knew that was going to be a very long project because I didn't have any money. I didn't really have a plan. I had a little bit of a plan of trying to learn more construction skills and fix up a place and maybe flip a house if I needed to. So anyways, long story short, I now own 40 plus acres in Northern California. Have 2 homes on it, a couple of barns. We've got fruit trees that were planted. I don't have a conventional mortgage. I do have debt, so I have not yet accomplished that part of the goal. I have the property. We're putting together the systems, and now I'm trying to figure out how to eliminate the debt. So this works, is what I'm saying. So there you go. There's practice number 1. Write down everything you want to do. Just put it on little cards. Be a husband. I got that one. That one I accomplished. That accomplished that along the way. Lead transformational seminars. So that one's actually kind of in play right now. I'm doing this via YouTube. We didn't have YouTube back then. So they're in here, but I'm not focusing on them. I'm focusing on the homestead part, and I'm focusing on finishing up the homestead. Now, the truth is that even with this, I still get trailed off and scattered. And so that's what the other 9 things come into play, because this is not sufficient. It's good practice number 1. Okay, practice number 2. Oh, let me come back to one thing. Along the lines with this, focusing on one thing, there's a wonderful book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. He's a real estate investor. So The One Thing, so you can read the book. I'll put the link in the descriptions, but the bottom line about The One Thing is you want to get in the practice of asking yourself this question. What one thing can I do that will make everything else in my life easier or unnecessary? So for me right now, I have my second house, and it's in the final stages of remodel. And the one thing that's going to make everything easier or unnecessary is when I finish that remodel and then rent it out, because it's going to increase my cash flow and make it easier for me to do things that I love, like making instructional videos and teaching people, and getting on to a lot of the other interests that are still left in my scatterbrained vision of life that I'm working on. All right, so that's number 1.